Hi everyone, how are you all doing? So I've got the lovely quantum healing music on in the background because I know how much you loved that last time. And I want to talk to you today about the importance of coaching. And secondly, if you join me live, I'm going to be actually doing some group coaching here today on the live using the Rose Oracle cards. And I'm also going to talk to you about how I use Oracle cards as a creative coaching tool. And all of this I train you and certify you in the Quantum Alignment certification. Coaching is a whole module in that. Coaching is so important to me. You'll find out why that is today on today's live. So I'm going to actually teach you coaching skills. So if you don't want to go through the years of training with the ICF or with another coaching faculty, but you want to come in and you want to learn about the quantum, we're going to be doing this in Quantum Alignment starting from September, so you can get on the wait list now. I've got a round running at the moment with an incredible group of ladies in, and the next round is going to be running in September. So the wait list is now open, so please let me know if you want to join the wait list to apply for the next program in September. Okay, so I'm just going to turn my quantum music down a little bit. And as usual, I've got my cup of tea and my china mug, which is authentically me. Now, why is coaching important? Coaching is important for anyone who wants to get in alignment with their most authentic self. Now, coaching has changed my entire life, and it has helped me on my journey to authenticity. Now, let's talk a little bit about what coaching is and isn't, and why this is important, and why I really want to emphasize the importance of coaching. I also had an experience with a client recently that has shown me even more how, as coaches, we need to be really responsible for what coaching is and isn't, and really have that contracted agreement with our clients in terms of the work that we're doing. Okay, so what is coaching? So coaching is about asking questions, holding space for people to get to their own answers, to feel empowered to make a difference, to feel empowered to take action. And we do this in coaching through a blend of support and challenge. So whereas something like counselling or therapy is going to be more support focused, coaching brings in that sense of challenge as well. So yes, we can empathise, we can hold space, but we also challenge, okay? And this is where coaching can be really useful, because it can help us hold us accountable to where we want to go next. It can hold space for us, have those high levels of support, and we want those high levels of challenge. And this is why coaching is so transformative, because at the core, so in particular if you're an ICF coach, but all coaching bodies really similar concept, the idea is the client is resourceful and whole. The client has all of the answers inside of them. They know what to do. We're simply there to ask the right questions, to hold space, and to hold the coachee accountable for getting to their own answers. So, had an experience recently where I was working with a client who was not ready to be coached, and we had to end our coaching contract because it was very clear when I asked a coaching question, she wasn't expecting that and she wasn't used to that, and she wanted me to just give her advice or tell her what to do. Now, in my programs and courses in Quantum Alignment, I walk you through some exercises, and I share with you meditations, activations and things like that to help you, to guide you. But ultimately, at the root of everything that we do as coaches, it is about who you are authentically and holding that space, seeing that expansiveness in you to help you to get there. And unfortunately, this client that I was working with, we had to end our contract And this is nobody's fault. This is not like pointing the finger or blame on anyone. But she had worked in programs before with coaches who had just told her what to do, just like given her information, and that is not coaching. So this experience has really spurred me on to talk about the importance of coaching and what coaching is, and how as coaches, if we're going to use that label, we need to have that belief in us that the client is resourceful and whole. Nobody needs hand holding, nobody needs fixing, nobody needs to be told what to do. By simply holding that space is just beautiful. It is beautiful, and it has shifted so much. It is the number one thing that helped me overcome my anxiety. So the mindfulness, as you know, my background was in mindfulness. Mindfulness helped me to understand those first niggles of my anxiety, and having coaching is what moved me out of it, is what moved me onto that stage at TEDx, because through having that space held for me, it was like, right, who am I authentically? What do I need, and how do I take steps towards that? And it was the challenge and the support that I got through the coaching that enabled that to happen for me. Now, the brain, as we know, is wired to the negative and can quite easily close off and close down. With coaching, what we are doing is we are opening the brain up. So we are so by doing things like, so one of the techniques that I love to use, which I'm teaching in quantum alignment, is space holding. So when we just hold that little bit of silence, that little bit of space, when we're coaching someone, there's just enough discomfort there in the brain to go, oh, that's a bit uncomfortable. Where do I need to go next? Ping, brain turns on, new idea comes through, innovation comes through. Okay, so coaching is about this expansiveness. So we fully believe that the client is resourceful and whole, they have everything they need inside of themselves. We're just here to hold that space to ask those powerful questions, especially the whys. When we build trust, we can really ask those whys, dig deeper. Why, okay, until we get to the root. And when we add shadow work coaching onto that, on top of that, this becomes even more powerful, because mindset coaching, if you've got the basics right with mindset coaching, then great. Unlocking the whys, the mindsets, the motivation, the action, the accountability towards that next step. When we layer that with shadow work coaching, it becomes even more powerful, because we can start to bring the subconscious mind into the equation. So yes, the subconscious mind is there already, because with us being in that space of support and challenge, those things are going to naturally come out of the brain. If we're using somatic coaching and we're working with the body, so little side note, thank you to everyone who volunteered this week to test the rapid energetic recoding sessions. I use that in somatic coaching. So that's going to be, so to those who've tested that and provided your feedback, thank you so much. I'm going to be bringing that into the somatic coaching practices that I do. So we're dealing with the subconscious there, because we're physically removing that kinetically from the body and encoding that with the EMDR. So that's somatic coaching. And another, I've completely forgotten the point I was trying to make. So we can, that's it, shadow work coaching. So with shadow work coaching, we're going deeper again, and we're going, okay, so this exists on the conscious level, everything we're saying here, but why do we desire this thing? Why are we not achieving this thing yet? Why have we not achieved this goal yet? There has to be a reason that we desire this. And this is where we go into the shadow, and this is where shadow work coaching then comes on top of this. So this is why coaching is so powerful, because of the way the brain is designed, and because of that belief that our client is resourceful and whole. People can shift massively in that space. So this is also why I have sometimes been a little bit of it doesn't help being an MG, right? I'm doing a bit of this, a bit of that. So, I'm trained I'm a mindfulness teacher, I'm a positive psychologist, I'm, trained in rapid energetic recoding, I'm trained in energy work, I'm trained in all these things, the science, the spiritual, the quantum. And I use a bit of everything. But alongside that, I can coach anyone on anything. And that sometimes, when we are like genuine coaches, we can coach anything. There's a really buzzy fly. I need to coach the fly on how to be less buzzy. Oh, it's got caught in a spider's web. Yeah, so when we use genuine coaching skills, we can coach anything. So example of this is a lot of my clients come to me about their businesses, wanting to align their businesses to their most authentic selves. And a few coaching sessions in, we get onto their relationships and we end up doing relationship coaching. This happens time and time again. Or we start talking about sex and we do sex like intimacy coaching, okay? So when you learn these coaching skills, you can apply them to anything. And I even found this, so I was an exec coach in corporate, and I even found this in corporate. I'd be coaching the exec members on how they were going to show up at the SLT, how they were going to deliver the performance for that year, and we'd always get into like their relationship and how that was affecting their work. So when you use these coaching skills, you can coach on anything. They are universally applicable. Obviously, being a member of the ICF, being an ICF coach, like that qualification is worldwide applicable anyway, but you really can coach on anything, and that is why it is so expansive and so powerful in itself as a technique. And I strongly believe that each and every one of us, for you watching this, you are authentically you. You have your own soul's mission. You have your own. We did this in the event. We did the Golden Path activation that lots of you took part on the path. And hang on, drink my tea. So everybody has got their own golden path. Everybody has got their soul path. You have got your own unique mission, your purpose here on the planet. You've got your own unique traumas and things that you've been through as well. And coaching holds space for that, to allow you, to support you and challenge you along that path, along those goals that you set, your mission here on the planet, your way of doing things in your business, your way of having your relationship. Coaching covers off all of those things, and it is expansive, and it holds that space to move you through that path. So it is different to mentoring or teaching, because those things specifically are to teach you how to get from a specific A to B, or how you can do what I have done. But coaching is always about you, where you want to get to, what's your A to B, where are you at right now. It's going to be totally different to where someone else is at, and someone else is at, and someone else is at, and where someone else wants to get to, and someone else's soul purpose. So this is why coaching is so important. So I also want to talk about, because I am the queen of science and spiritual, I want to talk about oracle cards, in particular the rose. The rose are the only cards I use at the moment, and the reason for this is because they're all about the rose, and I have grounded these cards to source, and the rose and the divine feminine energy of these cards feels really pure and aligned. I've let a lot of other cards go, given them away, because they weren't working with pure source energy. So I only work with, so this is just really important, again, that appreciation of everyone is uniquely, authentically you. Do what works for you and what feels pure and guided for you. For me, working with like deities and ascended masters cards and things like that is bringing in a lot of other energies. And again, that's taken us away from our soul's path and our purpose and our connection to source, okay? So I only use the Rose Oracle at the moment, because that resonates for me. I know that they are pure, and they work with source. So how do I use oracle cards as a coaching tool? So this is a process called creative coaching. And in creative coaching, we can expand the brain even more, okay? And one of the ways we can do this is through metaphor and imagery. So let's do this like live in the moment, and I'm going to be certifying you. This is going to be part of the process as well, and certifying you in quantum alignment. So join the waitlist if you want to come in and be certified in these techniques. And so what I will do, so as usual, if anyone joins and wants a card for live, I will do one for you live as well. I'm just going to pull one for the group, and then I'm going to show you how I do the creative coaching as well. Card for the group, please. It's slow to come out. Ooh, here we go. Okay, so the card for the group is Sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning and teaching. Okay, so on this card we have got some Roman architecture, and we've got the rose and Sub Rosa, so it's underneath the rose, okay, which is bringing to me the rose line, Leonardo da Vinci Code, all of that. Okay, so what is hidden in plain sight? Okay, so the message for this card that I'm getting for this group is, what is it that you are not seeing? What is it that is hidden in plain sight? It might be an idea that you've had that you've just passed off, or someone has said something to you, or you've been given these signs and these synchronicities, and it's actually really obvious what it is that you need to do, but it's under the rose, it's hidden under the rose. And this also to me feels like something that is a bit thorny, like under the rose. So it looks lovely, it smells nice on the outside, but it's under the rose. It might be doing some quite tricky, gritty type work, but it's underneath the rose. So it looks lovely on the surface, but it's like the nitty gritty. It's like getting into the detail work to then produce something wonderful like the rose as well. So what I then do is I've pulled the card then becomes the metaphor for the message, which of course, to not to give that any discredit, like that's a divine message from source, from the cards, from your energy. Then I will ask the coaching question. So I will use this as a creative coaching tool to then ask the coaching question. So it is divinely guided, it is intuitively led, and this is how we can do intuitive coaching as well. Then we can ask the question. So the question that I want to ask the group is, what are you missing? What have you not looked a little deeper at? How could that look like for you? Okay, so that is the coaching question I will ask the group. So that is basically how I do it. So remember, with coaching, it's all about expanding the brain. It's all about us being in that open brain state, fight or flight mode, shut down, which is where we need to have the support as well as the challenge. We can't just go in the challenge and start asking our clients, why this? Why did you do that? Because, that could feel really aggressive and actually close us down. So to get into those why questions, we need to build the trust. We need to have that high level of support, the active listening, playing back what the client has said. And then we can have that challenge, and then we can start to bring in tools like oracle cards, creative coaching tools. It might not even be an oracle card for you, that might not resonate with you. You might just use like picture cards, or a sheet with images on, or you might even want to say, you know, a client might say, I just can't see the wood for the trees. Oh, I love that analogy, because then we can go, all right, show me, what's the wood, what's the trees? What do we need to do to the trees? What do we need to do to the woods? And we can use that metaphor as a wonderful understanding and brain opener into that coaching conversation. So I'm going to leave it there and just summarise to say that coaching is so powerful because it opens up the mind. And if you have coach as your title, this is my plea to you. Please, please, please be responsible about what coaching really is. Because as I shared with you, that person came to me and they weren't ready to be coached because they didn't. I now have it in my contract as well about, you know, what coaching is and how you need to show up and be accountable for yourself. What coaching is, what coaching isn't, as it is such a super, super powerful tool. So if you would like to learn more, then the waitlist is now open for September for applying for the certification for the next round, which has a whole module on coaching in it. And not only that, as part of your certification, I am going to supervise your coaching conversations to sign you off to be certified as well. So you're going to get heaps of feedback about how to coach, how to do positive coaching, how to do shadow coaching, how to coach using oracle cards. You're going to get all the support along the way for you to become accredited. So I'm also, if you would like to experience the power of coaching, or if you have experienced it and you're like, I'm so ready for some more, give me some more of this juicy stuff, I have opened up my diary for application spots, and I have just one spot, one-to-one coaching spot available right now, just one spot. And this is my most exclusive offer yet. You are going to get access to everything. You are going to get access to quantum alignment. You're going to get access to my energy alignment tribe membership. You're going to get access to everything that I offer. You're going to get a coaching and a quantum healing every month with me. You're going to get Voxer support. So you've got, I call it coach in your pocket. You've got coach in your pocket. You've got me in your pocket along the way. And this is my most exclusive offer yet. So the applications are open now. I have very little call spots left in my diary. I'll pop the link in comments. And this is your opportunity to experience this level of coaching that goes beyond mindset coaching that has had incredible shifts in my clients. So one of my clients who came in at the start of the year, we've been working together one-to-one. She's had incredible shifts in that time. Mainly through that coaching experience. So her having space held for her to be authentically her and really move into her brilliance. Her gifts have come online. She's really clairvoyant. She's clearing energy. She's moving through things really quickly, really in alignment in her authentic self. So just one spot available. I'll pop the application link in comments. And if you're thinking, no, I want to do the qualification and I want to learn how to do this stuff myself, then message me about the waitlist, because the waitlist is now open for September for our next round of quantum alignment certification. So I'm so excited about both of these offerings. If you come in one-to-one, you'll get access to the program anyway for your time month on month that we work together. So any questions, let me know. I hope you enjoyed the message from the oracle card today. Yeah, pop any questions in and I will come back to them. And any other topics you would like me to talk about or do training on, there's so many things I want to talk about. Just let me know, and have a beautiful rest of your week. Lots of love.